Hello friends, Namaskar. Welcome to Professor Sahu Academy. In this video, we will discuss the basic econometrics. First, we will understand what is the meaning of econometrics. Actually, econometrics it is a two words. One is econo meaning economics and metrics meaning measurement. So econometrics refers to the quantitative measurement and statistical analysis of economic relationship. So in econometrics, we basically consider three things. First one is economic theory. In econometric model, we use the economic theory in order to study the conceptual relationship among the variables. For example, demand theory, where we use to examine how the price is impacting the quantity demand or how income is related to the demand. Econometrics also use the mathematical models. So we use mathematical models in order to express the theoretical relationship in terms of equations. In econometrics, we also use the statistical methods in order to estimate the parameters and test hypotheses using data. Next is, what are the steps involved in the econometric analysis? The first and preliminary step in the econometric analysis is statement of the theory. First, we formulate the economic hypothesis that needs to be tested, and it needs to be dependent upon the economic theory. For example, demand theory, and it says that other things remaining constant, there is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demand. So here we will be testing the hypothesis whether price is having a significant and negative impact upon the quantity demand or not. So as you know, in the hypothesis testing, we are having two hypotheses. One is the null hypothesis or H0, where we will assume that price does not have any significant impact upon the quantity demand. On the other hand, another hypothesis, that is the alternative hypothesis, which is expressed as H1, which will tell you that price is having a significant and negative impact upon the quantity demand. So here we need to test whether H0 or the null hypothesis is rejected or not. Then the second step in the econometric analysis is the mathematical model. So we need to express the economic relationship between the price and quantity demand in terms of the mathematical form. For example, here we can write Q or quantity demand is equal to alpha plus beta P. So here alpha is the intercept term, beta is the slope coefficient, and P is the price, Q is the quantity demand. Okay. So here alpha means when even if the price it will be equal to 0, how much will be the quantity demand. Beta will tell you that when the price will be changing by 1 unit, how much the quantity demand it will be changing. The third step is econometric model. We have to transform the mathematical model to the econometric model, because mathematical model will be giving you only the deterministic, or we can say exact relationship. But exact relationship means it is assumed that, or the means mathematical relationship, it will assume that if the price will be increasing, how much will be means quantity demand, it will be affected, and we assume that means price is the only determining factor for the quantity demand. But actually, apart from the price, there are so many other factors are there. For example, income, price of the related goods, age, gender, etc., which can also affect the quantity demand. So here, in order to capture the impact of all other factors which may impact the quantity demand, we form the econometric model by adding a error term or U. So this error term will include all other factors. So after we formulate our econometric model, the next step is the data collection. So here we need to collect the data, either means primary data or secondary data, upon quantity demand and upon the price. So after the data collection, we have to estimate the parameters. The parameters are alpha and beta. We need to estimate them. After estimation, it will be alpha hat and beta hat, or it is called as estimated value of alpha and estimated value of beta. After that, we will test the hypothesis. So the here hypothesis is the estimated beta value, it needs to be negative and significant, because as per the demand theory, or the law of demand, the price should have a negative and significant impact upon the quantity demand. So here we need to test whether the null hypothesis, which means that price does not have a significant impact upon the quantity demand, whether it is rejected or not. If it will be rejected, then alternative hypothesis, which will say that price is having a negative and significant impact upon the quantity demand, it will be accepted, and accordingly we can test the hypothesis. Then the seventh step is, after we estimated the alpha hat and beta hat, then we can make the forecasting of the future values based on the estimated modeling. And after this seventh step, the eighth or the important step is the policy applications. From our study, we need to give certain policy implication, and it is important for a researcher to suggest some policies from his or her own study. Then if we'll take one example to do the econometric analysis for any economic theory, the best example it can be the Keynesian consumption function. And as we know that the Keynes fundamental law of consumption, it shows that as income increases, consumption also increases, but less than proportionately. This means the MPC value, or the means marginal propensity to consume, MPC, which means that is the change in the consumption due to change in the disposable income. It should be lying between 0 to 1. 0 to 1. That means the MPC, it should be greater than 0 and MPC should be less than 1. MPC should be greater than 0 means what? So this means if the income will increase, consumption will also increase. That means MPC it will be means greater than 0. If with increase in the income, consumption does not increase, you can say, then MPC it can be equal to 0. That means income changing, but the means consumption does not change. So in that case, MPC can be equal to 0. But according to Keynes, if the income will increase, that means consumption has to increase. So MPC it will be greater than 0. But when income increases, consumption will increase, but it will be increasing less than proportionately. That means if income it will be increasing by 100 rupees, consumption it can increase less than 100. It can be 80, it can be 90, it can be 95, but it should not be equal to 100. So our MPC it should be lying between 0 to 1. I hope you understood. Then if we are expressing that Keynesian consumption function in a mathematical form, so it will be equal to C equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 y. So here beta 1 is the intercept term, or we can say this is the autonomous consumption. That means even if the income it will be equal to 0, how much will be the consumption? As we know, even if a person having no income, still he or she consumes certain amount of goods and services to for his or her existence. So it will be the autonomous consumption, and beta 2 is the slope coefficient, or you can say it is the MPC, and which will be lying between 0 to 1. Okay, and here C is the consumption, Y is the disposable income. And here after this mathematical model, we need to make a econometric model in order to control for the effect of all other factors apart from the income which may affect your consumption. So here we included the error term. So in this way we can create a econometric model for the Keynesian consumption function, and we can estimate this econometric model to find out the beta 1 hat and beta 2 hat, so that we can make a forecasting for if the income will increase by any amount, how much it will impact to the consumption of an individual. And in order to estimate this equation, we need to follow all the 8 steps which we discussed in the previous slide. I hope this video was interesting for you, and you could able to understand the meaning of econometrics and the steps involved in the econometric analysis, and how to do the econometric estimation or econometric analysis to estimate the value of intercept and the slope coefficient in order to do the forecasting. In my next videos, I will explain you, not only the theories of econometrics, but also how to do all these things in the softwares like eViews and Stata. I will try to explain you it the easiest way possible. Thank you so much. For more videos on economics and econometrics, please like, share and subscribe to our channel.